Big move in Bitcoin then, in contrast to all the notes I wrote pre-show, which were telling me that this was going to put Bitcoin under pressure.
The narrative that perhaps this launch of these political meme coins will sap flows from Bitcoin is showing us that it's really not the case this morning. If anything, it's just accelerated the momentum and the excitement around cryptocurrency under another Trump administration.
Hi, Dewald. What is all this FOMO about? Should I buy Bitcoin now?
Are you smoking your socks? You should rather watch my show. You should rather watch my show.
Right, legends, let's go. What's happening here with the price of Bitcoin? Nice little dump here to the downside. We spoke about the scenario playing out yesterday during the live stream. Smash up that like on your way in. And let's do some technical analysis and say, well, what can we expect next? Is the dump going to continue here to the downside? It is a bloodbath at the moment, right? Fear and greed. I mean, look at the bloodbath here on the, I was just looking at the crypto bubbles here this morning just to see, well, what is the market doing? And for the last week, last month, it's just red, it's red. But I do see a couple of bounces today. The market is slowly but surely starting to turn green over here. There's some signs, okay? There's some signs. What if, there's a very confusing thing happening here at the moment, legends. Bitcoin took an absolute dump here to the downside, okay, and AR broke out. Okay, dominance looks like it is finding some weakness. It's rejected here by the 50% Fibonacci, and that's most probably sent some love into the altcoins. And I'm not sure if you have been paying attention in class. I have said, I have seen it many times during the crypto cycles, especially during the last crypto bull cycle, where Bitcoin takes a fart to the downside and altcoins hold strength. AR looks strong. 𝗖 looks strong. It's actually broken trend. I'm just here on the wrong scale, right? Look at this, right? 𝗖 has broken trend. It's not falling, it's just consolidating sideways. ETH is holding the 786. Okay, Bitcoin has done this, right? And the altcoins are showing strength. Very strange, very strange. Is this the time that we need to start paying attention? Okay, when the fear and greed, okay, is at, what the hell is this, right? At 10. When there is extreme fear in the market and we are at 10 over here. What did I do? Right, let me zoom back out. Okay, and it's not often that we hit the 10 number. I actually want to check this graph. Let's go to max. I just want to see 10. Can you guys see? Oh, where's my pen? I need my pen for this. Right, legends. Can you see? This is 10. Okay, everyone see that? Right? Can you see when we hit 10, how quickly the market reverses back to the upside? It has been a few times in the history of Bitcoin where we have hit 10, right? Extreme fear. It's usually a great buying opportunity. When people are fearful, and not just fearful, when there's blood in the street, when no one wants to buy, when people are selling their altcoins. It was so funny. well, maybe not funny. The fear is real. Okay, I have to acknowledge that the fear is real. But this morning I saw someone's thumbnail. YouTube influencer posted a thumbnail, and he said that he's sold his entire crypto portfolio. He even got out of crypto coins that he bought 10 years ago. And because, you know, right, when there's extreme fear like that, when people are capitulating and when people are selling off and when people are too scared to buy, that is where I pay attention. Okay, as per the thumbnail, what you need to know, why we need to pay attention to Bitcoin right now, because this could be the bounce. But there are still levels here to the downside as well, legends. I want to draw your attention to this little schematic that I drew up this morning, okay? We are now at the range low that I spoke about yesterday during my live stream. We are at the range low, okay? And quite interestingly, when I measure this corrective structure from the high to the low to the high, when I measure this corrective structure in a W, X, Y, A, B, C, however you want to look at the structure, we have hit the one-to-one extension and we are currently trading above the one-to-one extension. This is critical support for a corrective structure. It is very, very common to hit the one-to-one extension and also the 1.236. So there's a chance that Bitcoin can still come down and test the level again and then bounce, or the low is potentially in. Right, and that's where I zoom into the smaller time frames here on the 15-minute, 5-minute, 10-minute time frame, and I go and analyze the structure in detail to say that what are the levels that needs to be claimed for the bulls to take control. And one of those levels has been hit. So there's a glimmer of hope. There's a glimmer of hope. I hope you have I hope you have your coffee ready. Matt, you couldn't have said it better, right? I hope you have your coffee ready. Let's get into the technical analysis, right? Guys, I mean, I have made, okay, if I go here onto my YouTube channel, where's my YouTube channel, right? And I go here onto the home screen, I go to the home screen and I go here onto the tutorial section. You will see that there is a video in this section. Let's do this. There's a video in this section that says, where it can, fear and greed. Here we go. There's a video. How to profit from freed. Guys, I'm just tripping over my words today. How to profit from greed and fear. Effective trading strategy. There's even a trading strategy and traders that trade the fear and greed index. And I've backtested it inside of this video. Right? Go check it out if you haven't done so already. Okay. Fear and greed. Boy, oh boy, right? These ads that keeps on popping up is very frustrating. Anyways, legends, it's not often that we hit 10, okay? And when we are still potentially inside of this bull market, when you see fear, extreme fear like this, oh, you need to pay attention. You need to pay attention. Right, legends, let's analyze the price of Bitcoin. First off, let me say hi to the beautiful community over there. Let me go through some comments. Good morning, legends. No financial advice, Miss Junior. Welcome in the house. Yes, smash up that like button. Let's get the party on the road. Good morning, Sir Dewald, the rolling walnut. Welcome, welcome. Martin, good morning, Dewald. I already like the smash button. Thank you very much for the education. It's an absolute pleasure, man. Hi, Dewald. New year. Love your background music. Do you share the link? Yeah, no, unfortunately, that is a song that my brother and I have produced, or my brother has, I'm not sure which one you're referring to. There's a couple of songs that my brother made for me, and I use it here on the live streams because I don't want copyright strikes and things to count against me. And my brother loves to make music. I sometimes like to sing and rap, and right, so we put these things together. Right. Good morning, Papa Bitcoin. Morning. Welcome to the live stream. Misha, welcome, welcome. Like the stream, boys. Yes, greetings. Welcome to the stream. Like, smash. Thank you so much. Let's go. Blew up my account, but love too much. Hey, that's not good, man. That's really not good, right? Blew up your account, man. I hope you can pay perhaps find a little bit of spare cash under the couch and, build up that portfolio slowly but surely again, right? Hello, legends. Alts stay strong. Yes, it's like I highlighted. The alts are just staying strong here at the moment, okay? I did not catch, okay, open cards. I did not catch this low. You know why? Because I was sleeping. I was in bed. Did not catch the low, right? But, I did enter an ETH trade over here. Did manage to enter an ETH trade, okay? And I have a clear invalidation. If I get stopped out, so be it. I didn't enter with more than what I can afford to lose, but I'm giving the structure the benefit of the doubt. This is a bullish target. It's a bullish target. And it's actually the best bullish target because your risk management is at the best level. Okay? If you get the bounce at the 382 and the 50% or the 618, you have more risk because this is where you have to put your stop loss. Okay? So by having a 786 entry over here, which is a bullish target, I have less risk. And I talk about it from a risk perspective because remember, legends, if the structure loses itself and it falls to the downside, okay, this is why I have a stop loss. I always trade with an invalidation. I have to know where my invalidation is. It's very important to me as a day trader. I'm not that type of person that just adds, okay? It's just not how I trade, right? But I did enter a ETH trade. Yesterday, I also told the community I went some altcoin shopping yesterday. I bought a little bit more AR. I bought some 𝗖𝗍 and a couple of others as well. I think I bought a little bit more Link as well, if I remember correctly. I bought some more Link. I just like where Link is at the moment. Bought a little bit yesterday. I bought just spot bags, guys, just spot bags. The only swing trades that I have open at the moment is ETH and AR. These are the two swing trades that I have open. Low leverage, low capital, and right clear invalidations. Because I like to buy when I see this. I like to buy when no one wants to buy. Okay, when people tell me that they've cashed out their crypto portfolios, what can I say, right? There's Dewald buying up the dip, right? And I know that price can turn against me, but that is why I exercise good risk management. Okay, and I told everyone yesterday here on AR, if AR has to have a fake out over here and it comes back down because my entry is over here. This is my entry on AR and it's already protected. My stop loss is at my entry price. And I have been nibbling at AR. You all know, because you've been following me here on the stream, is that I got in an AR because I told you guys I'm going to catch this low. I am persistent with this damn AR trade, right? I don't know why I'm so obsessed with this AR trade. I want to have that one coin where I have caught the low with good risk management. I entered over here. I got stopped out. Then I entered over here. Okay, I got stopped out again at break even. I have not lost any money, right? Very important. And then I entered again now over there. And I will keep on entering as long as I get stopped out, because at some point it is going to rock and roll here to the upside, right? I know it, but if I can get stopped out by not losing cash, that is what is important to me. Okay. Right, the only loss that I will potentially now take is on the ETH trade, right? Because now I have risk. If my trading plan is as follows here on ETH, right? So I've entered over there, and however high you want to go, because this is a swing trade, it could get nice and juicy here to the upside. I now have risk over here. If I get stopped out, I'm going to get stopped out with a loss. If ETH can find the strength and it breaks this resistance, if it breaks the resistance, I will then protect my position. And then I will have a free trade. And if I then get stopped out, I won't lose anything. Right, but it's not time to protect the position just as yet. It's still consolidating sideways. Okay, cool, legends. Now, let's focus here on the price of Bitcoin. And before we start, let me go back over here. Yes, let me go back over here. Remember, legends, the exchanges that I trade, where I've organized you the best deals, the lowest trading fees, the biggest sign-up bonuses. The links are here down in the description. There's Weeks and there's Bluffin. All you need is an email and a password to sign up. With Weeks, you get free money just by signing up. Between $10 and $100, it's a little bit of a lucky packlet, okay? But you still get 25% fee discount on your trading fees, and you get money airdropped into your account the more you trade. I often get messages from Weeks, emails now and again, like at least twice or 3 times a week. You have received 500 WXT tokens. You have received $20 in your USDT account. You have received $100 in your USD account. So it's quite nice to see when money gets airdropped into your account, because you can use that. Well, I use that towards risk management. Okay, that's what I do. Right. Cool, legends. Now, let's dive here into the price of Bitcoin. I have said hello to the beautiful community over here. Is ETH trade worth entering now? Well, okay, I will go through some altcoins in a moment. Okay, let me not get distracted. Right, legends. So, looking at Bitcoin here on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, there's a couple of things, because I like to analyze the shit out of Bitcoin, especially when we hit critical levels like this. Okay, so first thing that I have noticed is that, okay, let me take all the scribble here out the way, is that we have hit the 1-to-1 extension right over there. And the 1-to-1 extension is a very common target for a corrective structure. If this is a WXY, that is a zone where we definitely could find upwards momentum. I want Bitcoin to find strength over here because of the range low, legends. Okay, if I put this back on, that range low should not be lost. Okay, last night with the Legends Pro community, I was here on the daily time frame, and I was hoping, but I mean, I went to bed. I didn't see this play out. Okay, I told the Legends it would be an extremely bullish sign if we can close the daily candle above the range low, and it didn't happen. We closed the body below the range low. But I did also say in the same breath, if this is the low, for argument's sake, let's say this is the low, just for argument's sake, the market makers are not going to make it easy to get into this long. They are going to show you bearish signs potentially, and by the time price is over here, you're going to be like, shit, it looked bearish as hell, but look at where we are now. Okay, and then they're going to force the market to buy in at higher prices. What does market makers want to do? They want to fill up their bags. They don't want retail to trade with them, because they need to take retail's money. They need to take profit into retail. Okay, so they want to fill up their bag. So they're going to make it very difficult for retail to get into these dips. And they're going to keep on dumping the price until all the liquidity is grabbed to fill up their bags. And then they're going to send it. And what they're going to do, they're going to force retail to buy in at higher prices so that they can take profits. Right, you have to think about the liquidity game from a market maker perspective as well. So yes, I have to say, I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys that, right, the low is in and now we off to the races we go, because there's still a chance that we could come and claim the 1.236, because both of these targets are very common corrective targets. What I don't like about this level, legends, is that when you close multiple candles below a range low, and at the moment it's trading above, which is perfectly fine, happy days, okay? But if price had to come back down into this zone, it's not going to look good for the bulls, because if you get acceptance back above a range low, that first initial pump to the upside, that first low that you make, and then you start the consolidation area. The rule for the strategy says that if you have multiple candles below this level, or even if you go back up and you retest this level, now you've tapped it twice, you significantly increase the probabilities of filling the inefficiency. So I don't really want, from a bullish perspective, I don't want the corrective structure to find support at the 1.236, which is $79,133. If price had to come to this level, it's most probably going to retest the zone as resistance and continue to the downside until it finds support here by the 1.618. Okay. And there is massive support at $71,940. There's massive support down there, but I do think based on the price action that I see right now, the bulls have a chance. The bulls have a chance. Okay. Something else that I wanted to point out over here is it's quite interesting when I start playing around with Fibonacci's. Okay, so the first fib I had is I played around with this fib. Okay, from the low to the high. This is something that I spoke about yesterday in my live stream as well. Okay, is I wanted us to find support by the 0.382. And then we dipped below, but I mean, we have not ever so slightly tapped the 50% Fibonacci. And then I was like, okay, what happens if I take the fib to this low? Okay, right, we're still there by the 0.382. And then I went a little step further and I said, what happens if I switch the scale to logarithmic, to the log scale? Okay, let's see what happens on the log scale. Because I'm the type of person that wants to know, why did we stop there? I want to know, why did we stop there? So we have the 1-to-1 extension that I've just highlighted. So that's a reason we tap the 1-to-1 extension. But I like to dig. I really like to dig because when I take the fib from where I'm supposed to take the fib, because I don't want to take the fib from this low, because as soon as you take a fib from this low, it means that the structure is finished and you're looking for a deeper retracement. So if the bulls have any chance of still claiming the high and making one more leg to the upside, you have to take the fib from this pivot. And this is where it became interesting to me, is to say that, well, on the log scale, we have now tapped the 0.382 to perfection. Bam. And now we're getting the bounce. Right, so very nice to see that over here. Guys, over 180 people watching the live stream, only 63 likes. I know we can do better than that, right? I know we can do better than that. Don't be bearish on the like button because Bitcoin is bearish here at the moment. Okay, let's go, let's go. So very interesting to note, you know, I like to, when things looks crazy out there, when the pump is aggressive to the upside, when the dump is aggressive to the downside, I really like to spend time on the larger time frames, okay, to see where are we. You know, it's like looking at an oil painting. You have to stand back to see the entire picture. And often when you take a couple of steps back, it doesn't look so bad. Okay, it's when you are inside the 15-minute, 5-minute, 1-hour time frames where things just looks red. Okay, it looks like we are going to $40,000, right? So it's a good practice to zoom out when you have a massive volatility to the upside or to the downside. So, but also, legends, you know, when you start zooming out even a little bit further, I mean, okay, we are at extreme fear. Let me try this again. We are at extreme fear 10, a level that does not get tapped often. And look at where we are. Extreme fear. You would have expected, okay, maybe extreme fear over here. Okay, now you have a reason to be scared. There's no reason to be scared yet. The structure is still intact. Higher high, higher high, higher high. Low, higher low, higher low, higher low. So legends, even if this level does not hold, where we could potentially now get the bounce, okay, let's just talk a little bit bearish, because I don't want to be that peanut in the packet that just says up from here and then we fall down and then everyone's like, Dewald, what happened, right? Okay, I do think that there's a higher chance of finding support over here and still go and claim the all-time high. I think that scenario carries slight higher probability. But from a bearish case perspective, If I zoom into the structure, and I have spoken about this yesterday, but I just want to make it clear again today, because boy, oh boy, is there a lot of fear in the market. And I don't even have to ask you guys if there's a lot of, are you bullish or bearish? I just wanted to see, right. So 62% of the poll that I'm running over here says 62% of you saying that we're going to $72,000 first. Love it. I love it. And you might be asking yourself, why do you like to see that? Because I have seen in Andy's live streams, I have seen in my live streams, I have seen in other influencers' live streams, I have seen the polls on Twitter or X. Whenever the sentiment is geared in one direction, the opposite happens 94% of the time. The opposite happens, okay? If more people are bullish, chances are you're going to go down. If too many people are bearish, chances are you're going to go up. Because I remember when we were here, okay, everyone was calling for $42,000. And I ran a poll also, during a live stream. I ran a poll and I said, which comes first, $70,000 or $42,000? And most of the people said $42,000. And what happened? The rest is history. Okay, so it's important, but I mean, I can see that there's a lot of fear, right? I didn't even have to ask you guys, but I just wanted to see how this community feels. And I'm not saying that the 60% of people that voted over here for 72K is wrong, because we could get that level, and let's talk about that level. But I do like to see that there's more people bearish. I just love it. I like to see when people are bearish, because for me, it feels like the right time to buy. Okay. So legends, basic technical analysis. No crazy Elliott wave theory or anything like that. When you have a pump to the upside, okay, and you have a clear low and you have a clear high, okay, we all know that the market moves in waves, right? Here also you have a nice little pivot. You have a wave to the upside, you have a wave to the downside, and then interestingly enough, I want to see if I take a fib from this low to the high. Okay, can you see how beautifully we bounce there on the 0.618? Beautiful bounce here on the 0.618. When you take a fib from this little low to the high that we've made over here, we bounced on the 0.618. So all I'm doing now is the exact same thing. Take the brushes out, right? There is still lots of breathing room over here. Lots of breathing room. So if we do go down and we go and hit the $72,000 level that everyone has voted for over here, or most of you have voted for over here, there is a lot of support, legends. There is massive support. Let me draw the support. Above the highs, there is support in confluence with a 50% Fibonacci. Okay, this is the strongest, this is the second strongest area of support that we have. Above the highs. It's the second area of strongest support. The strongest area of support that we have, I want to take a fixed range profile, and I want to do a range for this entire zone over here and see where that point of control is. Okay, so the strongest area of support, just want to see before we had the breakout, I'm just curious. 618. Okay, so strongest area of support is at the 0.618. In confluence, that point of control was in confluence with the 0.618. That basically means inside of this multi-month, okay, 8-month consolidation area, this is where the most amount of volume was traded. And volume provides support. If price had to fall down, maybe you get a bounce, you form a lower high, you come back down, okay? If price finds itself in a high support zone, it's usually a great bouncing area. But all in essence, I'm trying to highlight, legends, is this here is your last area of support, bullish support, and I'm referring to this as bullish support because if I take the brushes here out the way, okay, and I'm purposefully talking about the bearish case scenario, which could potentially be extremely bullish. Okay, and I'll get to that in a moment. This scenario could be very bullish. Okay, If price had to find support at any of these three levels, you still have a low, you have a high, you have an impulsive structure, it comes back for a correction, and guess what? It forms a higher low, market structure is still intact, you are still forming higher highs, you're still forming higher lows, and guess what? You get after 1, 2, what do you get after 1, 2? 3! Yes, you get 3 to the upside. So the lower we go, and as long as we can hold $58,000, 341, the bulls still have a chance. The bulls are still in control, even at $58,000. So yes, the people saying that we are inside of a bear market, they are smoking their socks. Based on what? There's so much that still needs to happen over here. That you have a massive consolidation area that lasted for 8 months. That has lots of volume traded inside of this range. You think price is just going to slice through like a hot knife through butter? This is macro time frame. This is daily candles. It's not going to just crash through there unless there is an absolute devastating event that happens across the world. World War III, someone drops a nuke on another country. Something really, really, really bad in the world needs to happen. Millions of people need to die. Like catastrophic event for price to do that because of this. Okay, consolidation areas provide tremendous support. So legends, I will still be bullish even if we hit $58,000. That's my analysis. Okay, so for the bears, right? For the bears, you need to pay attention, and for the bulls, you need to pay attention to $73,000, $66,000, and a maximum target of $58,000, 341, 70 cents. Okay, right. So you have a clear impulse. Look at the impulse, correction, continuation. Impulse, correction, and you can get continuation. But now I want to talk. This is bearish / very bullish. Okay, because what that could be forming is, if I go back here and I zoom out, what this could be forming, dare I even say, and I think things will actually be more bullish if we do fall to the downside. So I actually want Bitcoin to fall to the downside, but you know, there's also that saying, be careful what you wish for, you might just get it, right? I'm still going to be buying up the dips on AR over there, right? Trying to catch that bottom. We'll see until the bullish structure gets invalidated. If AR's macro bullish structure gets invalidated, I will not try and catch the bottom anymore. Okay, but it still looks lovely. Right, so legends, what I'm then looking at is a potential 1, 2, 1, 2, and this is building up an explosive third wave here to the upside. And what do you get after you build up double 1, 2 combos? You get 4, 5, 4, 5. Okay, and this little bad boy over here could be wave, because remember, each structure has to have 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, if we are forming a super cycle, this could lead to a super cycle. If you don't know what a super cycle is, go and Google it, right? If this is forming a 1, 2 inside of a third wave, and after you have completed a 1, 2, now you are forming a third wave inside of a third wave, and that usually creates a super cycle. When you have a 3 inside of a 3, that creates a super cycle. This is going to get absolutely face melting if this scenario had to play out. But that is if we do get a deeper correction. Okay. So I just have to say it, legends. I might now be the only bullish peanut here in the packet, but I just have to paint out the scenario that if this structure finds support in those boxes, you still have the bull market that could potentially be intact for an explosive third wave here. Okay, and then you're gonna get 4, 5, and then the 3 is done. Okay, then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, because of 1, 2, 1, 2, you need to create 4, 5, 4, 5. Okay, so you end the structure the same way that you started it, and you have that impulse in the middle. Right. Cool. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I am saying that this could potentially happen if price falls further. Okay, based on the scenario that I want to discuss now, okay, let's go back here onto the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so I know that everyone wants the price to go up. Please, can the price go up? We are at the range low, right? We have hit a corrective structure target. We still have another, I need to go back here onto the regular scale. Okay, levels are quite wonky when you jump around. Sorry, legends. Sometimes I do share technical analysis and I forget to change the scales around. And then people ask me, why is your levels different? And then I post another screenshot. Why is your levels different? Sometimes I mix my levels between the log scale and the regular scale. Okay, so I can just take that out. Right, cool. Oh, also interesting to note that 50% Fibonacci that was here by the support above the highs is also in confluence with the 1.618. Anyways, just notice that now as well. Okay, so legends, if we do find support here, which I think carries a higher probability, okay, I don't want to go and call for that extreme bullish case scenario that I've just shared with everyone over here, right? That scenario for me, ironically, will gain in probabilities if we go down lower. And if we find support over here, then I'm going to say, pay attention. Even more so, we could potentially go into a super cycle. Okay. But now that price is potentially finding support here at the 1-to-1 extension in a WXY corrective structure, it increases the probabilities that we could potentially find support here and go to higher levels, because that's what everyone wants. Everyone wants us now to turn around, but they don't realize, yes, we can still go and claim the high, but it's not as bullish as the structure that I've just highlighted by getting a deeper correction. Okay, unless when you take a fib from this low to the high. Okay, now this is where it gets interesting. I just want to take some levels out here. Okay, so we can see the levels clearly. Okay, we have already tapped the 0.382 and I just want to see on the log scale. No, we have not. So if you take a fib from this low to the high and we can at least tap the 0.382, ideally the 50%, but that's the minimum target. You still have a chance for a super cycle, because after an impulse, the minimum corrective structure in a 3-wave structure is the 0.382. And this could be a 1, 2, 3. That thing that I've just showed you on the larger time frame. Okay, we could still go into a super cycle if we tap the 0.382. But there's a low chance if we find the low where we are right now and we start moving up here. It's not a high probability for a 1-2 not tapping a minimum target. It's not a high probability. But I mean, the market is here to surprise us. Anyways, legends. So now when I go back here onto the regular scale. Okay, so the good news is that the low could potentially be in. The bad news / good news is that we could potentially now find upwards momentum and go and claim the high. The bad news is this high might not go as high as people wanted. We can most probably make one more high and then, okay, there's a high chance for the bear market to start kicking in over here, because now you have completed the structure in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Done, right? And then maybe, you know, if we then start bouncing on these levels, I think, yes, you can get a bounce, but there's a high chance of making a lower high and then rolling down. But legends, it's speculating way too far in the future. I think, you know, once we get this price action, let's go and talk about the probabilities. So one more high to the upside seems great. It's nice to be able to catch the low over here, and you're right, the momentum here to the upside, okay, but it does decrease the probabilities of going into a super cycle. So for the people screaming for $500,000 Bitcoin, $300,000 Bitcoin, $1 million Bitcoin, I see some crazy thumbnails on YouTube. For those people, you want a deeper retracement before we go and claim the high. Okay. Right, because I mean, we are running out of time. That's also another problem. I mean, if Bitcoin first goes up and then it comes back down, okay, we are going to run out of time. So if I look at this chart over here, go to the weekly time frame. Sorry, let's go to logarithmic and just find the price action. You know, it's all just a game of probabilities at the end of the day, legends, is that we are, okay, Feb, March, April, June, July, August, September, October. We're about 5 months away from where the bull market is supposed to come to an end. Okay, so for the price to still go up and then find continuation to the downside, okay, it's just you're running out of time, okay, because the bear market is supposed to start soon. By the end of the year, round about the end of the year, Q4, it's supposed to start. So it would be nice to get the dip now. Get the dip now so we can build the super cycle to the upside in that 4545, and then maybe we start the bear market. Right, so it's all, you know, I'm trying to put the puzzles together over years to say that, well, if we still go and claim the high, you know, will Bitcoin have enough time to still go and claim the high, then come back for a correction, then start a super cycle? You're running out of time. So timing is counting against Bitcoin to start a super cycle by first creating another high and then coming down for a correction. Okay. Just something to point out. Right, legends, let's get back here onto the price of Bitcoin. So what I want to do now is go through some comments, see what you guys are up to, and then I want to zoom into this structure. Let's go and analyze this structure on the smaller time frames. Okay, there's a very interesting level that got hit, that got me a little bit excited, and there's a glimmer of hope over here. Okay, cool. Let's go. ETH, $1,400. Okay, yes, well, that's if Bitcoin continues to fall here to the downside. Okay, right. What else? Just want to take that out the way. TP17, okay, wish me luck. Would be the opportunity of a lifetime. Yes. Okay, you guys are obviously having a conversation here with each other, but we have Matt here in the house, guys. Just quickly want to highlight, we have Matt here in the house. Down in the description of this YouTube video, here is Matt. Please go and give him a follow if you would like. The best alpha, the best news that he summarizes on a daily basis. And okay, if you want your daily dose of alpha and fundamentals in a way that you can understand it, go and give Matt a follow over here, right? There's very few people that I follow on crypto because most people just talk shit and they show off their trades and they drive their fancy cars, but they don't actually teach you anything. But Matt, Andy, and 3 more other people are the only people that I follow on YouTube. I have given 1 person away already, and but Matt, I appreciate the work that you put in here and summarizing all the Twitter work that I don't have to go and do. So go and check him out, guys, if you haven't done so already. Okay, if we can't hold the bottom of this range around current levels, I'm targeting 73K, then a much higher high. Yes, that's exactly what I've spoken about, Matt. I think we're singing the same song over here. Okay, if price cannot hold this level and maybe it goes back up and it forms a lower high, it comes back down. Okay, I'm also looking at this zone. The 50% Fibonacci over here is in the middle of nowhere. And you have to remember the rule for a range low. You have your range low over here. If you lose the range low and you start closing multiple candles below the range low, so maybe it bounces here, comes back down, it taps it for a second time, which increases the probabilities that you are going to come and fill the inefficiency. And the first support that we have here to the downside is at the 0.618, which is $72,000. So I agree, Matt, I agree. But if price does fall here without going to claim the high first, that is potentially way more bullish than people are expecting. That's why I highlighted the super cycle, the potential for a super cycle. Maybe we're going to get a super cycle here on Bitcoin. Okay, maybe. The thing that no one is expecting, hi Dewald, it's a good idea to start buying ETH in this levels. Yes, but I have a clear invalidation. I told everyone I only have 2 swing trades open. My AR swing trade is protected. because I want to catch this bad boy, right? I have an entry right over there on AR. It's already breaking out. I didn't want to play the breakout. Okay, this is why I'm playing the swing failure patterns. It is an advanced trading strategy. When I educate and I teach everyone about swing failure patterns, it sounds easy, but I know even inside of our Legends Pro community, when new people join, they struggle with swing failure patterns. They get stopped out. Some of them even liquidate their positions, whatever the case might be. But once you've done a couple of them, and you know, when I say a couple, at least 100 or 200, even if you use $5 or $1 just to practice the strategy, it becomes very simple. Swing failure pattern strategy for me is the best strategy from a risk management perspective. It is the only strategy that I know of, that I have tested out, that can successfully give me the opportunity to catch lows, okay, and have protected positions so that I don't get stopped out multiple times with a big hole in my account. Okay, if you can learn and master swing failure patterns, you'll become a much better trader, right? Especially if you can combine it with another strategy. Okay, cool. So yes, on ETH, I have a clear invalidation. I did admit that I did buy a small little bag of ETH when we, I didn't catch the exact 786. I think I bought around about this zone, Legends, okay? Wherever you're targeting the lows, but my stop loss is below the low. So this is the only swing trade where I'm nibbling at ETH, okay, knowing full well that I can be stopped out, and this is why I'm not entering aggressively just as yet. But this is a swing position, this is a swing position, and this one is protected already where my stop loss is at my entry price, so I won't get stopped out with any loss. ETH is now the one where I'm taking on risk. Okay, I don't like, you know, usually when you enter a trade, when you just enter the trade, when I entered AR over here, okay, when you just enter the trade, you're exposing yourself to risk. When I entered AR over here, okay, targeting much higher levels, I had risk. Okay, right over there, I had risk. Can you see? So you still have risk from a swing failure perspective, but you have very little risk. So I entered over here. And as price was grinding here, my stop loss was here. So if price turned against me, I would have taken a loss. Okay, so when you initially enter the trade, you do take on risk. But now that price is above my level, well above my level, okay, when price was trading over here, I then decided, okay, I'm going to protect my position. If it stops me out and it takes the low again, I will re-enter. Okay, and now it has broken trend, and it could potentially go sideways and maybe find some upwards momentum or come and stop me out, and then I will be looking for another entry. Okay, right. Let me go back here onto the price of Bitcoin. Let's go just see if I missed any. Right. Okay, cool. Legends, let's dive now into the smaller time frames. Let me take the scribble here out the way. Okay. What I want to do now, Legends, is focus on this structure. So we've done some macro counts. Maybe I got some of you excited with the super cycle that could potentially play out. If Bitcoin continues momentum to the downside, the super cycle actually gains in probabilities. You hear what I'm saying, Legends? If we continue the move to the downside, can you imagine where fear and greed is going to be then? At 5, 4, 3. I mean, maybe we're going to see a record level on fear and greed if price just continues here to the downside, okay? But it actually becomes more bullish where we could go into a super cycle in a third wave. And just to put it into perspective, I just want to give you a conservative target. If this is forming a 1, 2, and it's going to create a super cycle to the upside, but you need to see more downwards momentum. Okay, this is a conservative target. So I will take a trend-based FIP from the low to the high to, okay, now we have to speculate, well, where on earth is the low going to be? Let's just put it here by the 618, because that is the strongest area of support to the downside, or the first area of support. Then you're looking at a third wave, okay, 1, 2, 3, at least at the 1.618, which is $170,000. But now, because you have created a 1, 2, 3, you still need a 4. You still need a 4, and you still need a 5. So it could take us to $200,000, and that is the conservative target. Because like I've said on the super cycle, if you're going to form a 3 wave inside of a macro third wave, so you're doing a 3 of a 3, it could go to the 2.618. They can get really punchy. It can just literally, it can lift off like a plane over here, where it smashes the 1.618, 2.618, 3.618, 4.618. The maximum target that I have seen on Bitcoin is the 5.618 on third waves. So it could even go as high as $414,000. Okay. Guys, I feel like I'm the only bullish peanut in the packet at the moment. I am not calling for this scenario by any stretch of the imagination. All I'm saying is, if the momentum continues, it increases in probabilities to get a higher explosion to the upside. If price has found the low over here, there's a high chance that it did, and we can make one more high, and then we tumble down. So that's basically the probabilities that I'm trying to highlight over there. So let's go into the 15-minute time frame. Okay, and remember guys, for the best specials for the biggest sign-up bonuses, for the lowest trading fees, links down in the description. It's also your way to support the channel. Okay, so that I can keep on bringing you the alpha. And tonight, maybe later during my live stream, there's something that I want to talk about, because there's some questions that I got and I want to answer those questions. Right, okay, so legends now. Okay, yesterday I spoke about this scenario. Okay, which actually ended over here, and now we had the 5th wave potentially now to the downside. Okay, the one thing that I always keep in mind, Dewald, you are the main nut. Right, we need to see price move lower, followed by impulse buying to get anywhere near $1 million. Yes, I don't think we're going to hit $1 million, even if we hit a super cycle. Okay, even if we go into a super cycle, I don't think we're going to hit $1 million. Not during this bull cycle. It's a very far-fetched target. Okay, I would say maximum maybe $300,000, $400,000. It's to get $1 million in a super cycle. I mean, you need to see some crazy things happen. Anyways, legends, the one thing that I want to point you guys' attention to is there's now the potential that this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 has now played out. What I like to see with a structure like this is that I like to go slightly higher time frame. Okay, and let me just switch it off, take the scribble out, and this is something that I pay attention to. When I look at this structure on the larger time frame, I'm always trying to see that, well, if this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, you want to see like a consolidation area that almost matches each other. Okay, and yes, the 4th wave was smaller than the 2nd wave over here, but there's also that multiple 1-2s here to the downside, which I'm not going to get into right now. Structurally, from a larger time frame perspective, it looks clean. Okay, it looks like a beautiful 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have a nice consolidation area, and then another thing that I look at is volume, specifically on the larger time frames, not on the smaller time frames, because volume on the smaller time frames can be very deceiving. Okay, I want the 3rd wave to have the most amount of volume, and I want the 5th wave to have less volume than the 3rd wave. We have more volume in the 3rd wave, and we have less volume in the 5th wave. So it's starting to tick the boxes that the structure could potentially be finished. So it's looking good. We've also tapped that 1-to-1 extension on the macro. That's why I went through the larger time frames first, to show you where we are when you zoom out. Now when you zoom in, okay, this looks like the impulse could potentially be finished over here. Okay, if we are going to continue, the one thing that I always look out for, legends, is if, for example, let's say, some people are counting it like this, and they say, no, that's still part of the 3rd wave. Okay, however you want to count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that 4 has an invalidation. And what I'm always looking for in the smaller time frames is that when we hit an invalidation for a 4th wave, there's a chance that we could turn around. So if we are still going to form, okay, because you can now see this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 waves inside of this momentum here to the downside. If it's still going to create a mini 4 over here where you're now 1, 2, and you're still going to go down, that has an invalidation. So this mini structure over here has an invalidation. And I'm going to get to the mini structure there in a second. So for the bulls at the moment, if you take a fib from number 2, I'm going to take it from here to the low. And I know that the level is still very far away. To invalidate this fourth wave, we have to tap the 0.618. As long as price rejects over here, it's still a high chance that it could take the low again. So you have to keep on dragging your fib to the downside, and as soon as you hit the 0.618, you know, okay, the impulse has now ended and we could potentially now reverse and go to higher levels. Okay, so I'm still waiting now for $91,042. If price can find strength and it hits $91,042, then the bulls have a high chance of making a higher low and continuing momentum to the upside, even to come and claim the liquidity above the highs, because I saw there's a massive amount of liquidity building up above the highs over here. Massive amount. Okay. Right, now inside of the smaller structure, let's go back onto the 15-minute. Take this out. Okay. Now I'm looking at this structure. So there's a glimmer of hope that I saw over here. Okay. If this is 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now I was asking myself the question, is this the low? What if this is 1, 2, 3? And now it's going up for 4 and it's going to go down again. Okay. Then I take my fib from the low, from the high to the low, and we have now tapped the 0.618. So locally, the chances are higher, even with a correction to the downside, to still move up. You cannot create a fourth wave at the moment because you've tapped the 0.618. So it means that this entire structure could potentially correct itself here to the, or find its upwards momentum and come and claim the highs over here at $89,000. So that is the bullish sign, right, legends? And I'm not sure because I did post the 1-to-1 extension yesterday for the pro community. I did post that level. I just want to, I have too many levels here, legends. I just want to get that level. Oh, I do have it here. Wait, I don't have to do that. Here we go. Okay. Okay. Right, legends, look at that. Beautiful swing failure pattern. 15-minute. Okay, look at this. Beautiful, beautiful swing failure pattern from the 1-to-1 extension. There's the 1-to-1 extension that I've just highlighted on the macro time frame. Okay, found the bounce. Beautiful. Okay, what I also want to just measure out, I'm just measuring our targets over here to say that, well, is the low in? Okay, is the low in? Is there a high chance for the low to be in? To measure a fifth wave to the downside, you take your fib from the high of the structure to the low of 3. Because now you speak, this has to be 5 if it's the end, to the high of 4. Okay. And there is still a chance to go and hit $81,000 because this is a fifth wave target. But there's another way to measure a fifth wave target. Okay. I'm just building up confluences over here. So there's still a chance that what if we make an A, B flat, and then a C here to the upside where you could potentially still go and hit that target. Now there's another way. I take a fib from the high of 3 to the low of 4, drag it across, we reverse it. And this is the most common fifth wave targets, by the way. Okay, the one that I highlighted over here, not so common over here. But we have hit, okay, this zone over here is fifth wave territory, and look at how we hit the 1.618 over there. This is also a level that I highlighted yesterday to the pro community. If you guys would like to join the Legends Pro community, link is down in the description of this video. Okay, and I told the legends if we can get acceptance back above the 1.618, it is a fifth wave target. This is a fifth wave target, so there is a chance that the low could be in. Okay. But there's always a but, right, legends? There's always a but. But, Dewald, what if? Okay, my what if scenario is if I look at this structure, take the fib out the way, you could always create a flat. Okay, so from a bearish case perspective, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What do you get after an impulse to the downside? You get a corrective structure to the upside, and you form a lower high and you continue. So we are now looking to trade this. Okay, and if this is going to form an ABC to the upside to correct this structure, and for those of you that still believe the bear market is going to continue here to the downside, okay, this is where you want to see the rejection. So you would then, as a technical trader, you would take your Fibonacci from the high to the low, and you're going to start looking for areas of confluence. Okay. So there is still the chance, if this is forming an A wave to the upside, there is still a chance. And the A waves, if this is an A wave here to the upside, they really like to claim the fourth wave over here. They love it. Okay, the A waves. A waves does not have targets. You can go and Google it. There's no target for an A wave. The only theory that they have around an A wave to the upside is that it likes to take the lows of the fourth wave. So if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that is number 4, the A wave likes to claim these highs. Okay, then you can go down for a B wave. Now this is where the juicy alpha comes in, legends. Smash up that like button. Don't forget to smash up that like button. If this is forming, let me do this so that people don't get lost. Okay, we are now potentially busy with an A wave. Okay. If we are going to complete a B wave, these B waves are notoriously difficult to trade. They are very difficult to trade because of how many levels they have where they can find support. But you could, the only scenario that I'm trying to highlight over here is you could create a B flat. A B flat is a corrective structure that takes the high or the low of the structure. And then you go and create a C back to the upside. Okay, let me just grab the right one over here. A B flat, C flat. Okay, and when you create a flat structure, is if, so, and then you have your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here to the downside. So you now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now you're potentially busy with a corrective structure to the upside. A, that likes to take the lows or the highs over here. Okay, you go down for a B flat that takes the low. Okay, so what I'm trying to highlight over here is, legends, there is still a chance to come and claim the bottom of my green box over here, the green box. Okay, there's still a chance to come and claim, make another damn low before we go back up for a C wave. And I also hope for the bulls out there that this is not a corrective structure and that it's going to start forming impulses here to the upside, because a C wave corrector, this could be a C wave here to the downside, and you now want to find upwards momentum. But I'll get to the bullish case scenario now. We are now discussing the bearish / bullish case scenario. You have an impulse to the downside. You form a corrective structure. It either takes the low or it doesn't have to. The B wave can also create a higher low. And you could have a corrective structure like that. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, correct 3-wave corrective structure. You reject and you create what again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the downside. This scenario does carry low probability. Just have to put it out there. Okay. To continue momentum to the downside. Does carry low probability. Especially if we can start claiming back these levels. So let's talk about the bullish case scenario. So there are still trading opportunities inside of this range. So legends, you must remember, at the end of the day, I don't care where Bitcoin goes. Okay, I really don't care, right? And that's why I often even say that you should even switch the prices off. You shouldn't even care about the price from a day trading perspective. Whether we get the A wave here to the upside and you've entered along in this zone, okay, you have to, as a technical trader, take profits at resistance. This is high resistance over here, okay? 382, 50%, this is resistance. So if you entered a trade over here and you think that you have caught the low, and it does this, and it creates a B flat, and it stops you out with no profits, You're going to be very upset, right? Then you could potentially enter another swing failure pattern over here if we do get that B flat. Okay. And right. And then again, you don't take profits because you think you caught the low and then it rejects and then we continue momentum to the downside. So from a day trading perspective, okay, I don't care if it's the low. I really don't care because I know where I need to take profits. You have to take profits at the highs. You have to take some profits here by the 50% Fibonacci. The best area of, or the strongest resistance above is at $95,000 because there's massive volume over there. So you could have an ABC that even reaches $95,775. So if you believe, looking at this structure, that we are going to create a lower high, okay, this is now what it boils down to. Maybe you are a trader that have caught the low to perfection. Maybe you caught that low over there. You entered here by the 1-to-1 extension. You had your stop loss below the low. Maybe you now protected your position so you have a free trade. Let me just click on the right. Okay, now you have a free trade and you believe the structure still looks incredibly bearish where we're going to form lower highs. Okay, this is where it needs to form it. It has to form it at a maximum target at $95,775 because this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the downside. Okay. Once you tap the 0.88, you significantly decrease the probabilities and you are most likely done and you are going to go back into price discovery. I can tell you guys now, the probabilities, once you hit $97,000, 389, significantly increases that you are going to go into price discovery. As long as price is below $95,755, we could still go down lower. Okay, I know the levels are far, but I mean, as technical traders, we know where to take profits. Okay, and I will just get back into a trade, take profits again, get back into a trade, take profits again. The bullish, okay, well, now let's talk about the bullish case scenario. Okay, let's take all the fibs here out the way. Is that, let's hide that. Let's go onto the 4-hour time frame. Okay, and let's switch off these levels. Let's clean up the chart. Right, I can take this fib out the way. Is WXY. Okay. So if this is a WXY, a WXY corrective structure, we have now tapped the 1-to-1 extension, which is a target for a Y wave. It's a target, and it's a very common target. A little bit further down, we still have the 1.236 at $79,000. And this is why I had that box there, is to say that, legends, you could potentially even form that ABC flat and you still tap that low, but the low could definitely then be in over there or it's already in. We have tapped the 1-to-1 extension and it is a very common WXY corrective structure target. A 3-wave. Can you guys see the lightning bolt? Do you see the lightning bolt? Okay. You see the lightning bolt? 3-wave, corrective structure, done. So now I'm talking about the bullish case scenario. The bearish case scenario is this is an impulse. This is a 3-wave corrective structure. We're going to make a lower high and continue. The bullish case scenario is the low is in. And now what you want to see in the 5-minute time frame, this little teeny weeny little structure over here, it needs to start building impulses back to the upside. Okay, to go back into price discovery. So the bullish case scenario is the low is in and stuff the ABC, stuff the ABC. We're not going to make a lower high. It's just going to start creating impulses. And it's going to claim these levels and it's going to force everyone that sold their crypto portfolios because they are so fearful, it's going to force them to buy into higher levels. Okay. And this 5-wave structure to the downside is very common where you have formed, okay, look at W, ABC in W, okay, a complex or a impulse there in X, right? And then you have another A, B, C in Y. A C wave is a 5-wave structure. So it might look impulsive, which it is, but it's a C wave. It's a corrective structure. It's not a continuation structure to the downside. Your C could be done in a 5-wave impulse. which is now potentially completed your Y wave at the 1-to-1 extension, and now we're going to start building impulses back to the upside. Okay, right. This scenario at the moment, based on the price action that I see today, has the highest probability. The highest probability, it's still a probability, but it has the highest probability that the low could be in. If Bitcoin comes down and it taps the 1.236, the scenario still carries the highest probability. And I did highlight with everyone here on the larger time frame why I don't want the corrective structure to tap the 1.236. Okay. But anyways, where it stands today at the 1-to-1, this scenario carries the higher probability where the low could be in, and there's a chance to even come and claim the high at $109,000. Okay, cool. Let me go through some more comments, drink some water. Let me put some music, legends. Very thirsty over here. Okay, I have my water, I have my coffee. I'm drinking all mixed masala over here at the moment. I actually forgot I still had my coffee. Okay, cool. Legends, let's go through some comments. Smash it, folks. Razor sharp. Yes, smash up that like button. How many likes do we have? We have over 200 people watching the live stream. We have 159 likes. Can we match the like button to the number of people that are watching at the moment? Let's break some records. Let's break some records. It would be absolutely fantastic, right? Junior, welcome to the live stream. Smash for the education. Moses, how low can A waves go? A waves don't have targets. Okay, that's the unfortunate thing. If you can find a target for an A wave, please let me know, because then I will learn something as well. I have Googled the crap. I have chat GPT'd it. I have looked in the Elliott wave books. I have looked on the websites. A waves does not have a target. An A wave, once it's finished forming, does give you a target for a B wave. And once the B wave is finished, the A and the B together gives you a target for the C wave, but the A does not have a target. The only information that I found on A waves is if you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 impulsive structure and you start forming your corrective structure in a simple ABC, it is said that your A wave loves the fourth wave target. So sometimes it will tap it or it will go a little bit below, but this zone at the fourth wave is where the A wave loves to turn around. Then you have a B and a C. Okay, so you have a 5-wave impulse to the upside and you have a 3-wave corrective structure. A waves don't have targets, but it is said that it does like the fourth wave zone. It likes that zone. Okay. But I have seen A waves do this. I have seen A waves do that. You know, like, but it's just in the zone, more or less, is what A waves like, more commonly. Okay, and then the B's. Okay, the B's, the B's that sting, right? These B's is the most complicated. Okay, wave to trade because it can just form a lower high. It can create a flat. It can be a teeny weeny tiny little B wave that only taps the 0.236. It can, you know, it has so many targets, this damn B wave. Okay, but most commonly you have that structure that rolls over, the one that everyone is familiar with, where you have your higher highs, you have your higher lows, and then your A wave makes the lower low. That's when you know market structure is starting to turn around. Then you create a lower high and you make a lower low. Can you guys see how the structure is turning around? Okay, so, but this is the simplest form of Elliott wave theory. And a lot of people, okay, it's funny sometimes. A lot of people think once they've learned this, they know Elliott wave theory. Okay, sorry, legends, I see my face just disappeared. Let me try something. Just hold on, legends. I see my I think my camera's battery died. Let me just start it up again.
big move in Bitcoin then, in contrast to all the notes I wrote pre-show, which were telling me that this was going to put Bitcoin under pressure.
The narrative that perhaps this launch of these political meme coins will sap flows from Bitcoin is showing us that it's really not the case this morning. If anything, it's just accelerated the momentum and the excitement around cryptocurrency under another Trump administration.
Hi, 𝗬cie𝗿𝗍𝗍. What is all this FOMO about? Should I buy Bitcoin now?
Are you smoking your socks? You should rather watch my show.
Right, sorry about that, legends. My camera's battery died. I just had to plug that in and get it started up again. Okay, there we go. Let's go through some comments. Hi, Dewald, where did you go? I'm still here. That's why I played some nice music for you guys in the background, just to show you that the stream is still active. Yeah, I am, right? What happened to your face? Okay, you got censored. Too much alpha, Dewald got censored. Yes. Right, legends. Not much else at the moment. Yeah, I think I basically went through what I wanted to go through during this live stream. And, you know, I have told everyone I did nibble a little bit here on ETH. I am still inside of the AR trade. I bought yesterday a little bit of Link. I know I like where it is at the moment. I actually added a little bit to my spot bag. So this is not a swing trade that I've got open here on Link at the moment. I do like that, you know, I like these little dumps to the downside that is decreasing in volume. That shows me that the selling pressure is getting exhausted. So I know that, you know, there's a lot of influencers at the moment that is telling their audiences to sell. Like this one person that I saw this morning just saying that sell now, sell everything that you have. Okay, it's absolutely crazy, guys. There is still a chance for a bounce to the upside. If you practice good risk management, you can still take high probable trades and lose very little cash and make insane profits. Cool, legends. Remember to smash up that like button. If you're not already a subscriber, make sure that you subscribe to the channel for future notifications. And yeah, 𝗖𝗍𝗍𝗽 would be nice. Right, I will do some altcoin requests later in my live stream. Later tonight, when I do another live stream, I will take some altcoin requests. Legends, until the next one, cheers for now.